Today's lesson is Module 2, Lesson 7. Today we're going to be using tape diagrams to solve one-step comparison problems, using addition and subtraction. That will be our focus today. We're also going to be talking about our key questions is how are the comparison tape diagrams we drew today different from tape diagrams we used in previous lessons, and how do we know when a word problem involves comparing. Open up to page 63 in your workbook. So number 1, James runs 350 meters. Casey runs 425 meters. How many more meters did Casey run than James? Okay, so we're comparing this because we are wondering how many more meters does Casey run? Okay, so how many more meters does Casey run than James? So we're comparing those two. What we need to do is we need to draw a tape diagram that shows how much James is running and how much Casey is running. So what I've done here is I've drawn two tape diagrams. I showed how much James is running, okay? So I created James, and I showed that he ran 350 meters. I also created a separate tape diagram for Casey to show that she ran 425. Now the question that we're wondering is how many more meters does Casey run than James? So that's why I made this dashed box, okay, inside question mark. You can even write a question mark in the box if you like. So then we need to figure out what are we going to do, addition or subtraction. In this case, we're going to be doing subtraction. So 425 minus 350, okay, depending on whatever strategy you prefer to use. So I'm going to use it vertically. 350, 5, I need to borrow. So then, the last thing we need to do is we need to do our writing. So Casey runs 75 more meters than James. Now let's look at number 2. Amy swims 255 meters more than Mia. Mia swims 475 meters. How many meters does Amy swim? So what I've done is I started off with drawing Mia, okay? Oh, excuse me. Okay, so I've started off with drawing Mia, okay? So she did 475. So Mia, 475. Amy did 255 meters more than Mia. So we know that Amy did 475, but then she also did 255 meters. So then, if we have those two parts, that's what we're trying to figure out. So how much did Amy swim? So we're going to do an addition problem or subtraction? It would be addition. So we would have 475 plus 255 equals our question mark. So we can add it up vertically if you'd like. You can use another strategy. So Amy swims 730 meters. For the next two problems, what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to read the problems to you, but then I want you to do the drawing and the writing. You'll pause the video, do your own answer, and then check your work. So number 3, a painter puts 5 milliliters of blue coloring into each container of paint. How many milliliters of blue coloring are used for 9 containers of paint? So think about what it's asking you to do, how you would draw your tape diagram. Is that going to be addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division? So pause the video, show your work, and then compare. All right here we had 9 milliliters of paint. We can draw 5 in each box. Then we have 9 containers, so we need to draw a total of 9 boxes. So if we're trying to figure out how many milliliters of paint we would have our 9 containers times 5 milliliters in each one. If we were to count by 5s, we end up with 45. So our sentence should be, the painter uses 45 milliliters of blue coloring for 9 containers of paint. Last one, Ivan puts a total of 28 bags of popcorn equally into bags. He fills each bag with grams of popcorn. How many bags of popcorn does Ivan fill? So think about some key words that are in this story. Are we going to be doing addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division? Put them equally into bags. So that should be a clue that we're doing division. All right, can you go ahead and break this up using a tape diagram? Remember, each bag has 4 grams inside of it. Pause the video. After you've completed the problem, come back and compare and check your work. All right, so you can see that each bag has 4 grams of popcorn. Okay, you keep on adding 4 until you make a total of 28. So if we were to count by 4s, you would see that 28 divided by 4 equals 7. So if we write our sentence, Ivan fills 7 bags of popcorn. Go ahead and complete pages 65, 66, 67, and 68 in your workbook.